Hi everyone, welcome to the fundamentals of Android section. In this video, we will be going through some routing basics. Now we will be seeing that what is routing, what are the advantages of routing, and what are disadvantages of routing, and what we should keep in mind. So let's start with what is routing. So basically, what happens is Android is built on Linux kernel. It is just a variation of the Linux kernel at the lowest level. Now, Android platform uses Linux user-based permission model to isolate the application resources. This process is like basically called application sandbox. So the aim of sandboxing is to like prevent some programs from interacting with the protected apps, which is basically a good thing from security standpoint. So routing is a process by which you can regain the administrative access to the phone. So we are gaining the super user permissions once we root the devices. Now what we can do, what are the advantages of the routing? So we can remove bloatware. Now what is bloatware? Bloatware is basically a type of software that comes pre-installed on a device, which can be installed by the manufacturers. So different manufacturers modifies the stock Android and launch their own Android OS variant. In that, the manufacturers install their applications, which is known as bloatware. So we can once we root the phone or the device, we can be able to remove the bloatware. Now there are different applications available in the Android market, or you can say the softwares available in the Android community, which will allow you to overclock your device to make it like go as fast as you dare, right? So it will like we can be able to overclock our devices. We can just add some fonts and themes, and for the fresh look, if you want to use some customized fonts and customized themes, we can do that. The routing can also be used to like install any variant, the custom ROMs, which we can say. So what happens is some community members just develop their own ROM for particular devices. So what we can do, it is kind of a fresh perspective on the ROMs that the developers put it inside, and we can be able to use those ROMs. Apart from that, whether suppose if you don't want to use the stock ROM, you can use a particular specific ROM where there are different you can say utilities available, and it is like custom tailored ROMs, we can say. Another thing is like applications. So what happens is Android device sometimes limits you where you can install the apps. So you can only install the apps into like internal storage. So using routing, we can be able to also install the applications into SD card part. Right now, we have already talked about the advantages. Let's look at some disadvantages. So what can go wrong over here? So the first thing which is basically is chance of breaking your device. So if it doesn't go our way, we can break your device, which can be unuseful. And then some manufacturers that don't like you to tamper with their hardware or software. So what happens is it is kind of thing that they will void your warranties. So that also depends upon the manufacturer. Some manufacturers support routing the devices, some manufacturers don't. So yeah. So with you can understand that with a greater level of control, there is a greater level of risk of rooting your phone. That once you root the phone, it will open up your device to the more dangerous pieces of malwares. So malwares can be able to directly access the root of devices, which can be really harmful. And one important thing to note is some of the application won't work with rooted devices due to security reasons. Personally, some banking applications which checks for rooted device, you can say check root or jailbreak, and due to that it won't work because the rooted device is dangerous according to uh, their, you can say, norms. So what we have to remember, what's the conclusion? So this is just a cliche line from a movie, that with great power comes great responsibility. So do it responsibly, and thank you for joining. See you in the next video. Bye bye.